First up, we go to the Times, Lewis. What are they going with?
Well, they've got lots of stuff on the Times. They got a huge picture of Henry Kissinger, who died, like something out of the late 60s or something. Very scary.
I'm saying there is a whiff of the Peter Sellers to him.
Yes, I think maybe that's why they did it. I think they got the Peter Sellers from this.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Yeah, and with those glasses, very strong. And I remember him very well. He died at 100. And as my mother would say...
Shouldn't have been driving.
Or shouldn't have been skiing, or shouldn't have been skydiving.
Don't rewrite the joke, it's good.
I know, it's good. I shouldn't. I came in with a joke afterwards.
Yeah.
But no, my mother, because he interrupted my joke.
Sorry.
My joke is he died at 100, and my mother would say, see, God punished him.
To live 100 years.
Yeah, punished him. Anyway, so lockdown... My mother.
On a lighter note.
Okay, on a lighter note. Lockdown delay was fatal mistake, admits Hancock. And he said 90% of first-wave deaths were avoidable. I mean, it's great that this guy, Matt Hancock, should say anything. Did he not? Wasn't he caught having an affair with a woman while there was lockdown? Isn't that true?
There's CCTV in his office. Somehow there was a picture of him, and we all saw that picture of him lifting a buttock in a way that was... Look, I'm no expert, but it wasn't very sensual. It was more like he wanted to vacuum under it.
Yeah.
That kind of...
But he's not very sensual, Matt Hancock.
Yeah.
But is it not true that was a violation of the 6-foot rule and the masking rule, all the different lockdown rules? It was. So what that means is, if he knew that this lockdown was killing people, and he did this, that makes him a murderer. And if he didn't think that the lockdowns were necessary to save lives, then he's a liar. And either way, this guy should not be listened to ever again.
Not just the lockdown rules, also one of the commandments, if we're really keeping score of what he was breaking. Paul, what's your take on this? Do you want to listen to what Matt Hancock has to say?
I think all we're going to get from Matt Hancock is self-preservation. I heard in the news bulletin before we came on the logic that he used, doubling up here, tripling up there. If we'd done this, then we would have saved. There'd only been a tenth of the casualties. There's no way he can prove that. It's all easy said now. Lewis makes a good point. I think both murdering is bad. Good point.
Yeah.
Lying is probably not as bad as murdering, and if you had to be one or the other, you might as well be a liar. All politicians are liars, so we can't have both. We can have both. Let's hopefully he's not a murderer. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sat next to Lewis Schaffer. I need a reset. Someone reset me. Now, what I would say, though, is we're not getting anything from him other than what he wants us to hear. This whole process of the COVID inquiry is feeding us absolutely nothing of any value.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Shouldn't you now come in and say, Lewis, of course you're kidding, to provide balance?
Well, I actually was going to say, for balance, you can't accuse him of murder. Murder is a very specific crime. To be responsible for many people's deaths, that's a different thing.
What would you call that? Would you call it manslaughter? Even if he lied, because he lied, this whole lockdown thing, it basically ruined people's lives. Suicides were committed, were done.
You're blaming all of that on Matt Hancock, though.
I'm blaming it, and
all over the
you
place.
know what? We got to blame somebody. We can't blame the millions of people who went along with this craziness. We got to blame somebody. Let's blame Hancock, and let's blame Boris Johnson, who's going to be working here soon.
Good luck in the canteen. Next, we can move on. Well, actually, is there anything else on the front page of the Times?
Yeah, this is student claim ADHD for additional time exam, and this is big news. And I know a good friend of mine, Stephen Allen. He was really upset at this story because it was Oxford, Cambridge. What's the difference? They're both cesspools for underperformers.
I didn't get to either. I'm from a poor background. They wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, which is why you're doing well, because you didn't go to a place like Cambridge. So at Cambridge, the students are lying. They're saying, we have ADHD and we need more time for the test. This is a non-story because this has been taking place for dozens of years, or decades.
Yeah. At the university I went to, we couldn't spell ADHD. Paul, your thoughts on this?
I went to Portsmouth University, great university, and thank you very much. Since time immemorial, humans have tried to game the system to gain an advantage. This is just an example of that. This is, as old as the hills, this type of thing. And the thing about ADHD that makes it susceptible to this is it is easy to mimic because no one's really defining it. It's a real thing. I know people with ADHD that really suffer from it, but there are millions of people on the periphery who say they're ADHD and you can't prove otherwise. And if it's going to give them an advantage, then they're going to take that advantage.
Like me, I need more time to answer this question.